So right away, you get that bite that I was talking about. Hey guys, welcome back to Vegas Vixen in the kitchen. So today we're going to be making bitter melon soup, also known as slaw marea. So let's go over our ingredients. We have some bitter melon that I clean and cored and cut into little, maybe like 2 to 3 inches thickness. We're gonna put that to the side because we're gonna stuff them. And then we have our dry ingredients, which are some salt, some chicken powder, pepper. We have some onions and green onions for later. And then here I have some garlic that I muddled, and that's gonna go in our stuffing, which is our ground pork. So here I have some really lean ground pork. And then we're going to put all of that garlic into the pork. And I'm just gonna, because you can kind of smash it in there with that too. And if you have a big enough mortar and pestle, you can actually stick your meat in there and just combine everything. So that's fresh garlic. And I'll just take that out. We're gonna do the chicken powder. And it's really simple. Some salt and black pepper. And then we're going to mix it up. I also have some cornstarch that I'm going to add into that. And this is optional. I like the cornstarch because it binds it more, and then I like that bite when I bite into the meat. And it's just the same thing as, like, you know, when you go to a pho place and you take a bite into one of the meatballs, is that bite, that chew is what I like. And there's no real measurement to it. I think I just eyeball it, and when you mix it, you'll see how sticky it is, and that's how you know it's the right consistency. So I have some gloves so I can mix the meat up. And we're just gonna make sure everything is combined. And you don't have to use ground pork. You can use ground chicken, you can use ground turkey if you prefer. Sometimes my mom likes to use ground chicken and she mixes it with shrimp. So what she'll do is she'll buy chicken breast and she'll use 2 cleavers, and she'll, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Mince it with the cleaver, and then she'll mince in the shrimp and mix it together. And actually it's really yummy. But I went with what was easiest for me, and I just got ground pork. And I got super lean ground pork because regular ones is really fatty. And once you combine all the ingredients into your meat, we're gonna start slowly adding the cornstarch and working it in. So I'm gonna show you. Right now it's just kind of like meaty. It's not sticky or anything like that. And then we're going to open up the cornstarch. And like I said, we're gonna eyeball it. My mom told me to put egg, but I find that the egg kind of makes it a weird consistency, and I think it's really necessary. If you want to, you can probably use a little bit of egg white, but just the cornstarch alone will be fine. And we're just gonna really get in there. And you can see already, it's like starting to dry up, and it's absorbing the moisture in the meat, and it's getting like stickier, slowly but surely. And we're probably gonna be adding a little bit more after I work this in. So a little bit in there. So we're gonna keep on working it. It's a nice arm workout. All right, now that you can see that it's really sticky and really like binding together, we are ready to stuff our bitter melon. So we're gonna start stuffing. Make sure there's no air in there, because then when you're cooking it, sometimes it comes out And there's nothing wrong with that, but it just defeats the purpose of stuffing it. Nice and full. Sometimes I like to just overfill it a little bit. All right, now that we're on to our last one, we do have a little bit of meat left, and that's fine. What we normally do is we make little meatballs, and then I'll make some little meatballs and I'll just throw it on top. And you can make it whatever size you want. I usually make them kind of small. This is what I'm used to when I was little. This is what I would help my grandma with when she made this soup. Because I never ate the bitter melon part of it because I didn't like it then. But as an adult, I grew to really enjoy bitter melon. And bitter melon actually has a lot of health benefits. It's good for like high blood pressure, if I'm not mistaken. It has cancer fighting properties. And I think it circulates or helps your blood circulate better too. So bitter melon is a superfood. I think all bitter things have medicinal properties and it's good for you. Okay, so we have our pot here. I have some chicken broth in there and then I'm gonna add some water. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Make sure you get it all in the pot. And then we're gonna wait until it gets hot. I'm gonna add some sliced onions. This kind of flavors the broth. And we're gonna wait until it comes to a boil before we add our bitter melon and our meatballs. Now that the broth has come to a boil, we're gonna add our chicken powder. Whoa. Our salt. And our little meatballs and our bitter melon. And now we are gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes so we can make sure that the meat is cooked from the inside. We're gonna save our fish sauce for last. All right, now that 30 minutes has passed, we've taken the soup off of the stove and we're ready to plate. And remember what I said, sometimes the meat likes to escape the bitter melon. You can see that it kind of came out of the bitter melon a little bit, but it didn't completely come out and float around, which is pretty funny too. But yeah, so stick some in there. And I threw some green onions at the end when I turn off the stove, just so it's a nice kind of garnish a little bit. And you get some of that onion from the beginning too. And there you have it, guys. Bitter melon soup, also known as la Maria. And now I'm gonna taste. Let's taste the broth first. You really get that bitter melon. And for those of you guys who like fish sauce, I love fish sauce. It's optional if you wanna add some on the side a little bit, if your broth needs it. And sometimes you even have the fish sauce on the side with the Thai chilies if you want a little bit of spice. My broth is pretty flavorful as it is, so I'm not gonna add any for me, but if it's for you, optional. And I'm gonna try one of the meatballs. Mmm. So right away, you get that bite that I was talking about. And the best way to describe it is the same thing as when you go to the pho places and you get the beef balls, and when you bite into it, it's that chew and that toughness. And that's just from working it with the cornstarch. And you get that garlic and black pepper flavor. It's really delicious. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, let me know what you think, subscribe, and share on your social media. See you next time. I can hear your jaw. It's gross.
That's a good blooper right there. Here we go.
Were you recording?
Yes, I was.
Wow.
I found a caught one.
Welcome back to blah, blah. And she'll like, what's the word I'm looking for? So a little bit in there. Okay, that was a lot. Don't do that. What do I do? How should I take it out? Oh, here's one that doesn't have a meat in it anymore. if I can dig it out. So this one, the meat completely came out of it.
Picking, right?
Yeah, if you want. Okay.